Bennett from the Executive Office of Veterans Services, your MC this morning. It's a privilege to welcome you all to the State House as we celebrate Veterans Day. This is a day to come together as a Commonwealth, to honor the men and women who have worn our nation's uniform, and to celebrate the values they represent: courage, service, and commitment to something greater than themselves. Everywhere you look across Massachusetts, veterans continue to make an impact by leading in our communities, supporting one another, and helping to build a stronger future for us all. We also recognize that families who stand beside our veterans, your strength and your sacrifice are also part of today's story. On behalf of the Executive Office of Veterans Services, thank you for being here and for helping us celebrate the spirit of that service that defines today. We will never forget and do hold in the highest esteem those who serve and those who have served in the name of freedom. So on behalf of the Massachusetts Executive Office of Veterans Services and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, this ceremony is called to order. At this time, we ask you to please rise if you're willing and able. At this time, we welcome the Governor of the Commonwealth, the Honorable Maura Healey. Lieutenant Governor of the Commonwealth, the Honorable Kim Driscoll. Secretary of the Executive Office of Veterans Services, John Santiago, the Adjutant General of the Massachusetts National Guard, Major General Gary Keefe, and the Treasurer of the Commonwealth, the Honorable Deb Goldberg, led by the Ancient and Honorable Artillery Company Brigadier General Joseph Milano. Please remain standing during the presentation of colors by the Lynn Marine Corps Junior ROTC Corps, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem. I now invite Robin Abbott, President of Gold Star Mothers, to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for our national anthem, sung by Boston's very own Kim Tavares.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. As long as we are called upon to send our sons and daughters, our brothers and sisters, our fathers and mothers to serve this nation, both near and far, we must never forget. Veterans, you carry with you memories of service, stories of courage, tears of sacrifice, and the pride of duty. This is your day. Happy Veterans Day. So today we come together to honor and pay tribute to veterans and their families across the Commonwealth. And now, as we continue this celebration of service, it is my honor to introduce the Secretary of the Executive Office of Veteran Services, John Santiago.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and happy Veterans Day. Let me just begin with a few acknowledgments. It was so good to get here early this morning and to be greeted by so many people that I've come to know over the past couple of years, patriots and servants and folks on the front lines supporting our veterans. And I want to acknowledge some of the people in the front row here. Governor and LG, thank you for what you do and who you are and what you stand for. Being from veterans families, and it's important to know that today in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, we are investing in veteran services more than we ever have before and engaging with veterans more than we ever have before because of their leadership. And so I want to thank you for that. To our First Lady, thank you for standing with our veterans and our Gold Star families every day, particularly on December's. And to General Keefe, you've been a friend and mentor. It's been great serving with you. Thank you for what you do. And to our Treasurer, who since the day she's got into office has always stood by our veterans with her passion, her commitment, her services, and the benefits that they offer. Thank you for being here today. 107 years ago marked the armistice. It was the end of hostilities for World War I. It was on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, November 11th. And a lot has transpired since that day. As you can imagine, 107 years. The next day, Armistice Day was founded, and subsequent to that, a couple of decades later, Veterans Day was created and was here to stay. An opportunity to reflect, to honor, to support our veterans, past, present, and even the future. And you can imagine over the course of those 107 years how much has changed, how we talk about our military communities, how we support them, how we engage with them. From the greatest generation who served in World War II to how we welcome back our Vietnam veterans and how we could have done a better job. And I would submit to you that collectively, although that's changed individually as well, and I'll use my case as an example. As a child, when I thought about Veterans Day, it's typically with my family, folks who had served, but I didn't know a lot about Veterans Day. Military service in my family was quite a personal thing. Not many discussions were had. It was a bit quiet. As I grew older and joined the service myself, it's been an honor to serve as an Army physician, to deploy a couple of times. And in fact, on 2 of my deployments, I was abroad during Veterans Day. And all I could remember was just wanting to be home with my family and my loved ones. And then over the course of the past 3 years, this opportunity to serve as Secretary of Veteran Services, it's been an amazing experience. It's been one that's taught me so much, and it's really cleared my own blind spots when it comes to the veteran experience. And I have to be honest with you, when I got this job initially, I was a bit intimidated. I didn't know what to expect or think. I knew there was a big job to take on, to build this secretariat and to transform care for our veterans. And I can recall my very first meeting at the Revere VFW. Some of you, I think, were there. And I got there, and over the course of the hour or two while we talked with one another, engaged with each other, I got to hear and learn of the veteran experiences from folks who served, but who represented all facets of society. There were younger and older veterans, people of all political beliefs and faiths, women, children, families. And it was there in that moment when I said, listen, there's a big challenge ahead of us, but we can do this if we do it together. And over those almost 2.5, 3 years we're at today, it's the stories that I've come to learn that have inspired me the most. I once heard just a couple of weeks ago that stories are man's greatest inventions. And as a physician, a scientist who cares much about data and evidence-based methods and all that stuff, it's really the stories that have really inspired me the most, whether it's the homeless veteran who finally got his pair of keys, who could get the care that he needed and move on with his life, or the Gold Star families, a Gold Star mother in particular who lost her son in Iraq and devoted her life to supporting the next generation of soldiers. And the many cities and towns that to this day support their veterans every single year. I got to think about those stories and that meeting at Revere and the fact that over these almost 3 years, we've accomplished so much as a Commonwealth, as a Secretariat, not because we did it alone in our office on Beacon Hill, but because we did it with you. We were held accountable. We worked together. We listened to one another. We led with listening. And for that, I'm grateful. And when I think about what we've accomplished, whether it's the transformation of our veteran homes, which today have these amazing outcomes, whether it's passing the HERO Act, the most comprehensive piece of veterans legislation, or even our commitment to ending veteran homelessness, where in this country where homelessness is on the rise at the individual and family level, but we've been able to hold the fort when it comes to veterans and actually see it decrease. We've done this all because we did it together. We understood that when we took off the uniform, the mission continued. And for that, I'm grateful. And particularly in this time when there is so much partisanship, the world can be divisive, social media can be loud, we stuck together. We banded together. And we've accomplished so much. So Governor and LG, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as Secretary of Veteran Services, the very first one. And to my staff here, who have put up with me for the past couple of years, thank you for hanging on and being patient with me. They know that I have high expectations of myself and of them. But I always tell them, and I'll tell you this as well, everyone, we're going to fail, and it's okay to fail. We actually never fail. You either achieve the objective, or if you don't, you grow in the process. And we've done so much here together on behalf of our veteran community. I couldn't be any more prouder to be your secretary. So thank you again. God bless America. God bless you all. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, Secretary Santiago. Next, I'm going to call on Vice President Gold Star Wives Elaine Savage to light the POW MIA candle. Let us first remember those who have not returned. There is a small table setting in a place of honor. This table is our way of symbolizing members of the American Armed Forces who are still missing. Captive Americans, cruelly stripped of their freedom, treated with contempt and brutality. They fought long, lonely battles against despair, physical and psychological torture, and the ultimate fear of being forgotten. They are POWs and MIAs. They are not with us today, but we remember them. The table you see is set for one. It's small and symbolizes the frailty of one prisoner, alone against their oppressor. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intention to respond to their country's call. Remember. A single rose in the vase reminds us of their families and loved ones. They have kept the faith, awaiting their return. Remember. A red ribbon tied on the vase is reminiscent of the red ribbon worn on the lapel of thousands, symbolizing our determination to account for the missing. Remember. A slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate. Remember. There is salt on the bread plate, symbolic of the family's tears as they wait. Remember. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us today. The chair is empty. They are not here. For all those who served with them and called them comrades, no, we have not forgotten them. Please remember them. People are in position, okay. Our veterans represent the very best of what humanity has to offer, from our nation's early days to the battlefields of Europe, the Pacific, Korea, Vietnam, the Cold War, the deserts of Iraq, the mountains of Afghanistan, the war on terror, and countless other conflicts across the globe. Americans have served bravely and with distinction. I now ask you all to please rise, if you're willing and able, as we observe a moment of silence followed by the playing of taps. Please be seated. And now, with great respect and gratitude, it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce the Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the Honorable Maura Healey.
Thank you, Deputy Secretary. Happy Veterans Day to everyone here. I don't know if you noticed, but the sun just came out, and I'm glad to see that because I think about people maybe later on this afternoon who may be visiting the graves of their loved ones, and I know they would be there in sleet and rain and wind and cold, but it's nice to have a little sun on this day. First of all, thank you to all of the veterans who have served this great Commonwealth. Thank you to our military families, including and especially our Gold Star mothers, our Gold Star wives. Thank you to Robin Abbott and Elaine Savage and others of you for what you contribute throughout the year and especially today. We honor your loved ones and your contributions to our state and our country. Joanna and I are honored to be here this morning. We do many events throughout the year, and some events have a little bit more meaning. And this is a serious moment for our nation, for our world. Today is a day of reverence. It's a day of respect. It should also be a day of celebration, I believe, for the willingness of men and women to come forward over the years, through decades, through centuries, from Massachusetts and around this country, to do something for the greater good. It doesn't get any better than that. So today is also a day of celebration in Massachusetts. I want to recognize and thank our fabulous Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll, who hails from a Navy family, our Treasurer, Deb Goldberg. Thank you for the work that your office does, Treasurer, to support our military families. Thank you to Undersecretary of the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security, Gina Kwan. We also have several folks in the room, including our terrific General, Gary Keefe, of the Massachusetts National Guard. First in the nation. We're proud of that. You realize, National Guard, first in the nation, right here in Salem, back in the 1600s. The roots of the U.S. Army, home to the Air National Guard as well, and we could not be more proud of our Guard members and our veterans. I also am grateful to see so many supportive members of our legislature, including Representative John Moran, Representative Vanna Howard, and others who continue to support the investments that we make in our military families and our veterans. The Lynn Jr. ROTC, aren't they hopeful? Isn't it great to see those young people? To Brigadier General Joe Milano and the Ancient and Honorables, thank you as always for your presence here today. I want to take a moment to recognize our great Secretary of Veterans Services. You know, just over 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to appoint the state's first ever Secretary of Veterans Services. And we could not have found a better person than John Santiago. Secretary Santiago, you have given a historic, and I mean that, a historic and lasting gift to the state's veterans and to our state. In addition to your service in the United States Army and your continuing work as a physician, you have been a leader who has inspired, who has brought others in to do the work and advance the work, who understood and created and built a great team. And thank you to the entire team at DVS for everything that you do day in and day out, including today's ceremony. But Secretary Santiago, you have given an incredible 3 years. You have accomplished so much. And I think about things like what's happened in Chelsea and Holyoke. Such tragedy, such heartache in those places. And John was able to help us as a state rise from the ashes and build not one, but two world-class facilities for our veterans. You know, I think about the HERO Act. That was John's inspiration. And he's competitive. He wanted to make sure that we had the very best and most comprehensive veterans legislation in the entire country. And we accomplished that. And he mentioned giving keys to that gentleman who now has a home. Understand that there are 1,000 more like that gentleman because of John's initiative to end veterans' homelessness in Massachusetts. So these are just some of the highlights of a storied and lasting record. And I know John will continue to serve this great state and our country and deploy his incredible talents to the next mission. But on behalf of the Commonwealth, and on behalf of the Lieutenant Governor and myself, we want to thank Secretary John Santiago for all he has done. Today we have a chance to recognize some award winners. Congratulations to all of our award winners. Andrew Biggio, a Marine Corps veteran, a Boston police officer, an author, and a father, and a founder of the Boston Wounded Vet Motorcycle Run. Congratulations, Andrew Biggio. You should stand. Secretary Santiago mentions storytelling, and Andy, thank you as well for the power of the stories you tell. Congratulations to Soldier On, one of our great partners in the mission to end veteran homelessness. Soldier On has also stepped up big to feed hungry veterans in recent days and weeks. 21,000 veterans receiving SNAP in Massachusetts alone, 9 or 10% of our veteran population. And I just want to thank Soldier On for all the work that you have done during the government shutdown to feed our veterans. Congratulations, and thank you to CEO Bruce Buckley. And to all the Marines joining us today, happy 250th, hoorah! You know, we had a great time celebrating Marine Week last August. And I want you to know, they put a call out to all the states saying, celebrate in your own states, have a birthday party, have a birthday cake. And I am proud that Massachusetts was the very first state to have a birthday cake and wish our Marines a happy 250th. I also know that just yesterday, November 10th, is the official birthday of the U.S. Marines, 1775. I also know that, while Pennsylvania may claim it, It was General George Washington who was the first to order soldiers in the Continental Army to serve aboard ships in Massachusetts. So that is really where the U.S. Marines actually began, right here in Massachusetts. So Massachusetts, not only are we the birthplace of the National Guard, we're the birthplace of the U.S. Marines, the United States Navy, the Coast Guard, all born right here in Massachusetts. And the Air Force and the Space Force have a home here as well. We have a proud military tradition in this state. And we own that every single day. Our veterans mean so much to our history. They mean so much to us today. And they represent the best of who we are as a people and a nation. Before we were even a state, every town and hamlet of Massachusetts formed militias for community defense. They worked together to protect the common good. And that's why 250 years ago, when it came time to stand up, to launch a revolution, to fight for independence and liberty, and to start a new country, that happened right here from Massachusetts. Because our military tradition started here, you see, our country did too. So as we celebrate 250 years of America and all the ways that it began, we're going to really do it up here in Massachusetts. There'll be a July 4th Boston Pub Spectacular, a fireworks show to end all fireworks show. It's going to be broadcast around the world, and we're going to celebrate our history, including our military history, throughout the year, in every region, in every city and town in our state. So if you want to feel good about something, get involved with Mass 250 or what your local communities are doing to commemorate the anniversary of our nation. Today, we also honor the many amazing contributions that veterans have made after their military service. I meet so many people who are working as teachers in police departments, in fire departments, in hospitals, in so many different ways, continuing a mission of giving and of service. Now, if you take a walk up to our office today, you're going to see artwork that we purposely installed. It's art created by veterans, and we're going to have it up there all month so that as the public comes through the governor's office, and there'll be thousands of people who will come through, they're going to see this artwork by Massachusetts veterans. Two of our veteran artists are here today, Peter Damon, who I just had the opportunity to meet, and Hector Imbrano Canales as well. I want to thank you both for sharing your art with us, and I want to thank you for your service. And Andy, you should know that one of the paintings that Peter did was inspired by the Wounded Vet motorcycle run. So that's pretty cool that there's that link, and it is up there on display. So congratulations to Peter and to Hector. Thank you also to teacher Abby Young from Braintree in the wonderful book that Department of Veterans Services put together. You can read more about the work of those students from Braintree High School, which is inspired by interviews with veterans. And Abby, I know you're here today. Thank you very much. It's called The Art of the Veteran, a great project. The State House building stands itself as a monument to veteran sacrifice and leadership and the democracy they made possible. We honor that in our administration. And that's why we recently made some changes to our offices upstairs. We wanted to find a way to honor our military veterans. So there were a number of folks to choose from. But in my office today, and I see them every morning when I walk in and every evening when I leave, is Governor Sam Adams. He wasn't just a brewer. He was the founder of the Sons of Liberty. He was a leader in the American Revolution, and yes, he was the 4th governor of Massachusetts. We also have hanging in the governor's chamber Governor John Brooks, the 11th governor and veteran of the battles of Lexington and Concord. Imagine that. We have Governor Benjamin Butler, a Civil War Army general and a staunch advocate of freedom and civil rights. And we have Governor Paul Deaver, a lieutenant commander in the United States Navy who went on to become Attorney General and governor. He not only built 128, he also extended World War II veterans benefits to returning Korean War veterans to make sure that they were treated equally. The truth is, veterans have led us in every generation through military service, government work, community work, and in business. They also play a major role in driving our economy. Massachusetts today, okay? We don't just have our great sports teams, all right? We don't just have life sciences and technology and great universities. I want you to know that Massachusetts is a national security hub. We are a national security hub. We host 6 military installations. Each contribute to military readiness, technology development, and joint operations. And because of that role, and thanks to our revolutionary spirit of innovation, we're also a cornerstone of the defense industry. It's one of the biggest job creators in our state. And 2 weeks ago, in this very hall, I stood with the Lieutenant Governor and with military and industry leaders to announce a new joint initiative to advance the defense sector, just as we did 250 years ago by creating the various arms of service. 2 weeks ago, we announced that Massachusetts is leading in moving forward with military preparedness for our country. We established the Massachusetts Strategic Hub for Innovation, Exchange, and Leadership in Defense. We call it the SHIELD Initiative. And this is to strengthen our state's defense leadership and accelerate cutting-edge national security solutions. We're investing $47 million in this sector this year to create jobs and to grow companies that support our men and women in uniform. I think it's really important. For a long time, we have worked and improved the ways that we serve military families with services, and we honor our veterans when they return. But isn't it important that we do all we can, and Massachusetts is stepping up, as we always do, to make sure that when our men and women go into battle, they are outfitted and resourced with the very best in equipment and technology. I want you to know that, and I want you to take pride in that as Massachusetts residents. I know that veteran employment and veteran leadership will be critical to this SHIELD endeavor. So Veterans Day is about looking back and honoring those who served. I think of my grandfather, I think of my uncle. We all have veterans in our families. It's also about looking forward. And I know, based on the way that veterans have safeguarded our past, our future is secure. Our future is secure if we follow the lead of the men and women driven by mission, driven by an oath to the Constitution and the great nation they serve. Veterans will continue to inspire, and they will continue to keep this nation on course. God bless our veterans. Happy Veterans Day, everyone.
Thank you, Governor Healey. Now I have the honor of introducing the Lieutenant Governor, affectionately known as the LG, of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Kim Driscoll.
Thank you, AGB, affectionately known as AGB. And thank you, Governor, for your your remarks this morning and your commitment to our veterans every single day. Thank you to our colleagues in government for being here, Secretary Santiago, for the great work you've done the last 3 years, and for everyone for their partnership for bringing today together. It's a wonderful way to celebrate our veterans and our veterans' families. And thank you most of all to those who have served their country, and continue to serve our communities every single day, and to their family members. It's never just one person who serves. It really does take a family to help not only support their member of service, but also to serve alongside them. You know, on Veterans Day and on so many days, I think about my father, his 22 years of service in the Navy, and the way it helped shape my family's life. I was born in Hawaii. We moved around to lots of different places, always being deployed. And if there's anything I learned from being a Navy brat, it's that in the military, you don't serve alone. The whole family really serves together with you. We were always a Navy family. Myself and my 3 sisters can vividly recall my father telling us on too many occasions, there's a right way, a wrong way, and a Navy way. Now that was a bit of a head scratcher for us. We assumed he meant the Navy way was the best way. But we moved around frequently to follow his call of service, and he instilled in us values of working hard with discipline and dedication, and the understanding that all of us together are stronger than any one of us alone. You know, being a good sailor or a good soldier is also the path to being a solid teammate, to really celebrating what you do collectively. He modeled that for our family every single day. I'm really proud to be part of an administration that takes those same cues, that works hard every single day with a collaborative work ethic to bring our administration and our Commonwealth forward. As the governor made a point of recognizing, so much of our success in this state is rooted in our military traditions, in our belief in collective action, and the examples of veterans who are willing to sacrifice their own well-being in support of collective action and better outcomes for themselves and their families and for all of us. We honor that fact not only on Veterans Day, but all year round. In September, I had the good fortune to be in Fall River at Battleship Cove with Secretary Santiago to launch something called the MA 250 Veterans Legacy Trail. You may have seen some of these brochures when you came in. This is a first-of-its-kind project, cataloging more than 1,200 war memorials across Massachusetts, memorials that honor certain battles that may have taken place and the veterans who served in those battles. It's a signature initiative of the MA 250 commemoration. As the governor mentioned, we are the birthplace of American democracy. In fact, while the rest of the country will be celebrating in 2026, and we will too, our celebrations began 2 years ago with the Boston Tea Party, and then earlier this year on battles in Lexington and Concord. It does signify the important role that Massachusetts played in the founding of our nation. And this Veteran Legacy Trail honors the service and sacrifice of veterans in military service from the Revolutionary War to present day. We have a very interactive website that goes along with this searchable map. You can use it to identify and visit any memorial site in the state that honors our veterans. For genealogists or historians, the site is key to ensuring that these stories don't go untold. We know about the things we read in history books, but we know across Massachusetts there are stories and battles and people who sacrificed so much so that we could all live in a better, not only a better state, but a better country. Veterans created our history in so many, many ways, and we want to honor that in the way we tell those stories. From the way they raise their families to the way they build nations, we will always honor our veterans. We'll always teach the next generation to do the same. So happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans of service who were kind enough to be here today and who offered service to our country. We're so grateful for the work that you're doing today and every single day to make our Commonwealth a better place, to live, to raise a family, to go to work, to go to school. You are truly foundational to the success of the state of Massachusetts. Thank you.
Thank you, LG. Now it's time, and it's my honor to introduce the Treasurer of the Commonwealth, Deb Goldberg.
So, as an FYI, I'm better known as, in my office, as Trey. So, LG, meet Trey. Gov me trade. Good morning, everyone. It's such an honor to be here with all of you. I can tell you there was a Navy way, because as the daughter of a naval officer, there was a way to make your bed so that the coin bounced off of it, and there was a way to scrub the sink around the edges of the faucet. Because remember, when you're on a ship, everything has to be perfect because there's no room for anyone. But I have to admit, and General Keefe knows that I feel strongly about this, he was National Guard first, my dad, Avram Goldberg. So I'm very fortunate. I'm the daughter of a National Guard officer, and I am the daughter of a naval officer. We'll get to Army one of these days, but only after we've beaten them for about a half dozen years in a row. Go Navy. It's always a pleasure to be here, and one of the great honors for me as your treasurer is the work that I get to do with the Coming Home bonus. Our executive director, Steve Croteau, is here today. He is a veteran, and so he focuses all his time, not 5 days a week, but 7 days a week, on what he can do for anyone coming home from having been overseas. And we're so fortunate that we have a legislature and a governor and a lieutenant governor and our secretary who have been equally focused on what are all the things we can do that are candidly unique to Massachusetts in taking care of people and acknowledging what they've been through and the kind of support that they deserve when they return to us. And so it's been a wonderful partnership with Secretary Santiago, John, and we will truly miss you. And Gov, I hope the person who comes in to take his place is as wonderful a partner that my office has been able to experience. I also have been, very, very honored to be involved in something in the last couple of weeks that has been truly special and has touched everyone who works with me. Through our unclaimed property division, we've come upon 6 Purple Hearts. I had the honor 2 weeks ago of returning a heart to someone in a Fitchburg nursing home who had no idea that he was missing it and his safe deposit box. James Mooney is a wonderful individual, and our going out there and giving this to him and the others in the nursing home celebrating him was a truly meaningful moment. But we also are very, very fortunate to have an incredibly special family today with us. The first Purple Heart that I got to deliver back was for Sergeant Thomas P. Flynn. His grandson came to my office. His mother couldn't make it that day, and so we are honored to have Mary, could you give us a little wave? Yes. And your son, who we're old friends now that we've seen each other so much, and I look forward to welcoming you in my office when the ceremony is over. I can't begin to tell you what it's like to reunite these heroes or these heroes' families with the Purple Heart, a symbol of sacrifice, of what others are willing to do for all of us. And it has been truly a privilege and a meaningful honor for me to be able to participate in this. These hearts are more than symbols. They're reminders of courage, sacrifice, and dedication, and each one carries the story of a life, of a family, and what these people were willing to do. And yet, Mary, the stories I heard from your son were that your dad didn't really think it was anything special that he did. He just did what he knew was the right thing. So, Sergeant Flynn, I want to give you a little bit of his story. He was born on August 27th, 1896 in Worcester, Massachusetts. He served with Company G of the 9th Infantry and the 101st Infantry of the Massachusetts National Guard. He saw action at Toul, Sacré, is that how you say it? Asnemouse, Vaux, Saint-Mihiel, and Tryon. Promoted to sergeant on October 23rd, 1918, he was gassed 3 days later during the Meuse-Argonne offensive. Evacuated to a hospital, reassigned in late November, and returned home on April 5th, 1919, before being discharged at Camp Devens on April 28th, 1919. What an example. And then came back to his family in Worcester and led a wonderful life of love and dedication. This is one individual, but every veteran is willing to do for all of us. And that's something that I honor every single day. It is part of our shared history. It's part of what makes our country great. The courage inspires us, and service reminds us of our responsibility to protect and strengthen our communities. To every veteran here, thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your enduring commitment to our nation. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to do my part to honor all of you. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, Treasurer Goldberg. I would now like to draw your attention to the 4 outstanding cadets from Lynn Classical High School's Marine Corps JROTC, who in just a moment will perform their armed and unarmed drill ceremony for us today. For those of you who may not know, the Lynn English ROTC has been one of the most successful programs in the nation. The program has been recognized as a Naval Honor School, one of the top programs in the nation for 25 consecutive years. The drill team has also been one of the best in the nation and one of the top Marine Corps ROTC drill teams in the Northeast region. Led by retired U.S. Marine Corps Sergeant Major Jose Beto, both armed and unarmed drills have placed first at national drill competitions and have won all the region's national drill qualifiers. So please welcome Ryan Tasawa, Kyle Furlong, Jessely Omandia, and Yerlin Mercedes. They will perform their 2 cadet armed and unarmed exhibition drill performance. hands are in this generation, and they are incredible. Let's just give them another round of applause. So at this time, I am honored to present our annual Veterans Day award winners. The Tom Hudner Valor Award is presented to an individual within the veteran community who exemplifies extraordinary courage and selflessness. Named in honor of Captain Thomas Hudner Jr., a true hero of the Chosin Reservoir Battle, this award pays tribute to those who embody Captain Hudner's unwavering commitment to the service and well-being of their fellow service members. It celebrates his legacy and recognizes individuals who, like him, demonstrate unparalleled bravery, selflessness, and dedication to their comrades and the veteran community. This year's recipient, Andrew Biggio, is a Marine Corps veteran, Boston police officer, author, and lifelong advocate for those who have served. A Massachusetts native, he enlisted after high school and served 6 years as an infantry rifleman in Iraq and Afghanistan, rising to the rank of sergeant. After returning home, he founded Boston's Wounded Vet Run, raising over $1 million to support severely wounded veterans, and continued his service in law enforcement. He is also the author of The Rifle, a collection of stories from more than 200 World War II veterans that connects generations through courage and service. So it is my honor and privilege to present the 2025 Tom Hudner Valor Award to Andrew Biggio. LG, Governor. Somebody's here to take a picture. Somebody's going to take a picture. Thank you so much. All right, come on. Congratulations. For our next award, Captain Thomas Kelley Community Engagement Award, we honor an organization dedicated to local service and community empowerment. Inspired by Captain Tom Kelley's extraordinary valor during the Vietnam War, this award recognizes an organization's deep commitment to advancing veterans within their communities. Captain Kelley's legacy of transformative impact, both within the Department of Defense and as Secretary of the Massachusetts Department of Veterans Services, exemplifies the spirit of this award seeks to honor. It celebrates organizations that, like Captain Kelley, have made a lasting difference in the lives of veterans, ensuring their dedication continues to inspire future generations. This year's award is presented to Soldier On, a Massachusetts-based nonprofit dedicated to ending veteran homelessness and supporting those at risk of losing their homes. Since 1994, Soldier On has built a continuum of care that includes emergency shelter, transitional housing, and permanent supportive housing, helping veterans reclaim their place in the community while restoring meaningful dignity and hope to their lives. They have developed communities of permanent housing across Massachusetts and beyond, providing safe, stable environments where veterans can rebuild their lives and support one another. Through comprehensive wraparound services such as case management, healthcare navigation, and transportation to VA appointments, Soldier On continues to create a community where veterans can rebuild, find stability, and thrive. Please join me in welcoming their CEO, Bruce Buckley, to accept this award on behalf of Soldier On. As we commemorate the 250th anniversary of our nation's founding, we are reminded that service and sacrifice have always been at the heart of Massachusetts' story. These award winners represent just a few of the many acts of service we hear about every day across the Commonwealth. In January, during Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we launched our year-long Acts of Service campaign, an initiative that has since lifted up hundreds of stories from veterans and their families, municipalities, providers, community organizations, volunteers, and veteran service officers, all working to support those who have served. To celebrate their efforts, we'd like to share a short video that captures just a few of these inspiring moments. So please enjoy.
In January, the Executive Office of Veteran Services launched the 2025 Acts of Service campaign, a year-long initiative honoring the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King by fostering impactful community service to support veterans all across the Commonwealth. It highlights those in our community who exemplify our mission to honorably serve those who served us.
Like Fred Villa, the owner of Martin's Restaurant in Abington. Once a month, Fred reserves half his restaurant to serve a free veteran breakfast for the entire day.
Yeah, you guys come and have a good time, eat up, and we enjoy it.
Earlier this year, Martin suffered a fire which closed the restaurant temporarily, but it reopened in June to continue the tradition.
How incredible is this to be back at Martin's after all this time?
Since 2022, Martin's has served over 3,000 meals and transformed a simple meal into a vital tradition of community, service, and gratitude.
The Chicopee Police Department is being recognized for their act of service for launching a program called the Situation Table, a proactive and collaborative approach to community safety. This two-day training seminar, which included stakeholders from the Chicopee Department of Veteran Services, is focused on identifying and addressing pressing local challenges, such as housing, mental health disorders, transportation needs, and substance use disorders.
Navy veteran Richard Banks.
We have some donated noodles or lasagna, etc., that we'll be serving, and along with some other goodies, and they can come on up and get some.
Who for 8 years has been helping those in need at St. David's Episcopal Church in South Yarmouth. On the third Wednesday of every month, Banks and his wife have volunteered at the meal program held at the church. Under his direction, he's helped secure local grants and donations to help provide support for people in need.
We don't receive any government support, no state, no county, no federal support. It's all donated through the church and from members of the community.
They now serve over 300 meals a month.
They come to us from all over the Cape, from all walks of life. Our doors are open to everybody, and all are welcome at any time to come in and pick up a free meal.
There are veteran fishing trips, like this one, hosted by the Eastern Essex District Department of Veteran Services out of Gloucester, or this one, by the Cape and Islands Veterans Outreach Center in East Dennis. This year, 46 veterans made it out on the water to catch flounder, but also to share stories, laughs, and build connections to remind them that they're not alone.
In Lynn, veterans and community members came together to honor service and restore tradition as American flags were reinstalled along the Buchanan Bridge at Floating Bridge Pond for the summer season.
These are just a few examples of the nearly 100 acts of service submitted to our office.
This campaign shines a light on these unsung heroes and fosters a spirit of unity across Massachusetts.
It gives us a chance to show our gratitude to veterans while embodying the principles of equity and service championed by Dr. King.
And it's a powerful way to strengthen communities and to make sure that every act of service makes a difference.
Thank you to our wonderful comms team for putting that together. As you all may know, there are over 24 million veterans in the United States and almost 300,000 here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Soldiers, airmen, sailors, coasties, Marines, and Space Force, today we come together to celebrate you. Please take a moment to feel that pride. Pride in your service, in the uniform you wore, and in the values you carried with you then and now. We're grateful you're here with us today. Your presence is a powerful reminder of what it means to serve and to continue serving through your example, your leadership, and your spirit. So in just a moment, we'll be playing the songs of each branch of our armed forces. As your branch song is played, we ask that you please stand if you're willing and able to be recognized. Let's show our appreciation with a round of applause as we honor each branch and every veteran here. Marines. Navy. Air Force. Space Force. Coast Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, this now concludes the 2025 Commonwealth of Massachusetts Veterans Day ceremony. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your day, and happy Veterans Day.